let's move on and let's talk about Pink, who is reportedly upset over the music coverage steering towards artists such as Beyoncé and Taylor Swift. So, I don't know if you guys have heard, but she's been performing this Summer Carnival Stadium tour, which has been going on for since last year. And it's been really big. And one of the things I will always say about Pink is that she's been selling out Australia. Like, I feel like she's one of the only acts that has really been, every time she goes to Australia, she's been selling out those stadium tours, and I think she was selling out for like a good 2 weeks straight. But according to reports, they're trying to say that she's upset because she's not getting the same kind of coverage as, Beyonce and Taylor Swift have been getting with their tours. Especially Taylor Swift, who was there at the time. They feel like that Taylor Swift has been pushed way more than she has. So it says, besides in January, she announced more shows for the latter half of the year, covering Vancouver, British Columbia, Columbus, Ohio, Detroit, Austin, and many more, as reported by People. But Australian's radio broadcaster Tim Blackwell said during an interview on Nova's Ricky Lee, Tim, and Joel, as per The Sun, Pink is out here doing her bike around the Opera House saying, "I'm here too." He continued, "It's kind of funny. Everyone's talking about Beyonce and Taylor doing the stadium shows, but Pink's also out here selling them out as well. I have a friend who's Pink's background singer, and my friend Danny said she's really just pissed off no one is talking about the fact that she's also selling out stadiums. This came as a business strategy veteran revealed that Swift, via her Eras tour, made $20 million in merchandising sales. They reportedly said no other artist can even dream about making even $20 million in merchandising sales on tour, which we're saying is like, that's some bullshit, because if Pink is selling out stadiums, how are you saying Taylor's doing all this work, but then you just totally ignore her, saying she's not doing any of the things that she's doing? So I totally get it. So this is the expert added, millions of fans have been waiting for this to happen, and they have been saving money to spend it on their favorite artists. The tour is the biggest ever, and Taylor is the most famous artist in the world, and they want to have their part of history. Besides, Beyonce's 2023 Renaissance tour also made quite a stir. A source reportedly claimed Beyonce has poured millions into this show. It is one of the most expensive sets for a concert tour ever. She is a perfectionist. Well, duh, because she's a Virgo. And it said Beyonce has been rehearsing for more than 3 months and has spent the last 5 weeks away from home preparing. With all of that investment, she has determined to give it her all and knows that fans will love it. Meanwhile, people online have reacted to Pink's alleged issue with Swift and the Queen Bey. One person wrote below the ATRL article, "I'm pissed off. Pink hasn't released a good album since 2017. Another person said, "Highly doubt. Pink has always been one of the most level-headed and supportive pop girls out there." Another person put, "If true, this is Pink's own fault and also her team's fault. They just complain and expect everything to come without moving and without having a PR machine behind them. And don't get me started on how she recycled her own performances for that tour and how the stage design is just not outstanding. Take all of that, then disappear from the media until the day you have to perform, and this is what you'll get." Well, it said a user wrote below Daily Mail article, "Pink is here a lot. She came when no one else would, which she deserved credit for. If you look back, you will see Pink came before the AUD meant something to the Yanks. The rest only came here. Once our dollar was high everywhere, the dollar crashed, but the AUD was strong due to mining, and guess what? Then they came, otherwise they wouldn't bother." The second one mentioned Pink's right. Rather than enforcing her fans, who in many cases spent over $1,000 in airfare and accommodation to come to her, she came to them, a class act. So they also went and said, "It's all hearsay. Until Pink says something about it herself, I'm not buying it," a reader remarked. "Pink is family to Australia. She has spent so much time here. She is one of us now. She is loved by her fan base and isn't going anywhere. She gets a special freedom when she comes here. I'm sure she was grateful the Paps were chasing Tay Tay instead." Well, yeah, because one of the things about us is we don't, we're here for the work. We love what we do, but we don't like all the attention. And Virgos do not like a lot of attention. Trust and believe, we tell you. We just like doing what we do. And another comment read, "I guess they're on different generations, and unfortunately, Pink's generation, like me, we aren't that crazy into going to concerts anymore. It's Taylor's time for those who are 35 and younger. I don't know if that's necessarily true because I feel like a lot of fans out there, no matter the age, like to watch performances and stuff. So I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. But for argument's sake, let's entertain all this as if it's true. So when they went and said Beyonce has poured millions into her show and how she's rehearsed for more than 3 months and has spent the past 5 weeks away from home preparing. Well, that's cute and all, and nobody's taking away from how hard Beyonce works because we know Beyonce gives her all when she's up there performing. So I appreciate everything that Beyonce does. But for you to say all of that and discredit what Pink is doing, to me, that's bullshit. First of all, they both Virgos. Like Beyonce is the fourth, Pink is the seventh. I'm the second. I'm 2 days older than Beyonce. So um for people to discredit like what Pink is doing, it's like Pink works just as hard as Beyonce does. First of all, we've been seeing Pink up there doing somersaults midair across arenas. She's been doing that for years, doing all kinds of crazy somersaults and gymnastics, like she's in a damn circus. Hence probably why she calling this a summer carnival tour. But Pink puts in just as much work, and her and Beyonce are around the same age. So she has put in a lot of work into solidifying herself as kind of the queen of Australia. Now, I don't know if this is going to be blasphemous, and please do not throw your fruits, vegetables, tomatoes, whatever you want to call it, at me when I ask this question. But is Pink bigger than Kylie Minogue in Australia? Let me dub. Let me dub. Is she as big? Is she bigger than Kylie Minogue in Australia? Because Kylie is that's her people. That's her hometown. So I wonder, like, shout out to my Aussies. I'm going to have to cut this up, and definitely I want to hear from y'all. Is she bigger than Kylie in Australia? Like Kylie, I feel like has spent more time in the UK and most recently in the US than she has in her own hometown. So I would think like because Pink has put so much work into rebuilding and getting those accolades, and every time she goes to Australia, she sells out. So they're trying to say that if it's true that it's Pink's own fault and it's her team's fault. I mean, I guess you could probably say that, but to me, it's like Hollywood is very much like high school. It doesn't matter how much work and energy and money and things that you put into a certain artist when it comes to whatever. The industry, whenever it comes to Taylor Swift, the way the industry acts whenever she's popping up somewhere, or nobody's diminishing her impact because Taylor, whether you love her or hate her, is that girl. She is very impactful in the industry. But a lot of times when the bigger artist comes in a room, a lot of y'all want to push the legacy act to the side because the hottest, best, shiniest thing has now walked into the room. Okay, bitch, move to the side. The queen's coming through. Like a lot of Hollywood is very high school in that way. And to me, you shouldn't treat people like that. If I put in 20, 30 years in this game, you're gonna treat me with the same kind of respect you're gonna put somebody that's only put in 10. And I'm not saying that Taylor Swift's been in the business for 10 years, but you're not going to treat me like shit and then usher in this new shiny thing because they're the hot commodity of the moment. So I don't know if Pink is necessarily jealous, but I would find it, frustrating that I put in so much work and blood, sweat, and tears and things into something, and a lot of people don't appreciate it, or the media's trying to put them against each other. I don't know, but she has a right to feel the way that she feels because when you've been doing this for a long time, it's like, yeah, hello, like I've helped build the revenue for Australia when a lot of people wouldn't even come over here and touch y'all with a 10-foot pole, but now you want to treat me like shit because Taylor Swift, Beyonce is in town, and I know it's shocking for some people, but we can multitask. I mean, arenas wouldn't last if y'all only depended on one artist to be able to sell y'all whatever it is that y'all selling. So don't discount out the Pinks for, somebody else. We can like Pink just as much as we could like Taylor Swift, just as much as we could like Beyonce, just as much as we could like the next artist. Which is why a lot of people create their own little playlists now, through Amazon or Spotify, and I mean not Amazon, Apple. Well, yeah, Amazon does have a streaming thing. I forgot, but or Amazon, Spotify, or even Apple Music. People create their playlist because we don't listen. We're not a monolith. We don't listen to one thing. We don't only support one thing. We don't buy tickets to one damn artist. It's like this week I can go see Pink, and next week I can go see Megan Thee Stallion. If you got the money, then support it. Um, so I guess I'll just say all this to say, you know what? Um, the generations, maybe they are different. It's like I feel like the generation for Pink is not that far off from Taylor Swift. It's like Pink is 35 and older, and Taylor Swift is 35 and younger. But I do agree, sidebar, I do agree with them when they say like Pink just keeps doing like ever since Misunderstood, she's kind of been doing the same type of pop rock type vibe. And I do feel like, yeah, with the new album, which I forgot the name of, because I listen to a couple of songs of the album every now and again, she did kind of step out of her comfort zone and experiment with a couple of different sounds, which I like. I did like that, I did like Runaway because it kind of gave me that whole 80s Pat Benatar type vibe. And I feel like Pink kind of needs to change up her sound a little bit. I do feel like she has got a little stagnant. She got a little comfortable, and I do love the fact that she took a risk, with Misunderstood because she was Miss R&B Pink. She was the white girl trapped in the black girl trapped in a white girl's body. What people thought because she was from Philly and all this other stuff that she was, an urban chick, and she did go R&B with that, Can't Take Me Home. And since she did Misunderstood, it's kind of like she's been stagnant and doing that whole pop rock type thing. So maybe she kind of does need to change it up a bit. But look, the sound definitely works for what she's doing. She's an arena artist. So those rock and roll, those guitars, the drums, all that other stuff, that whole sound definitely works if you play in a stadium. So I don't think I have any more to give on this topic. Just let me know what you guys think of this whole situation down below in regards of everything you heard. I'm definitely curious.